every time. So, what's up, guys? And this isn't really a podcast, but I just wanted to break down some images. Looking at my notes here, I wanted to break down some images based on posing, lighting, and composition. And to do that, I brought up actually both my websites here. Um, I see that it's covered with the video of my face, but it's this is alistairphotography.com. And yeah, so I guess we'll just hop into it. So I'm actually just gonna do like maybe like a full wedding. So let's go here. Let's go Kiana and Jacob here. And so you can see this was shot at the DIA. Got a little bit of rainbow going on here, which is kind of neat. Not intentional, but yeah, I shot this with a pretty long lens, and what I did was I think it's 70-200, cropped in pretty tight, and I think I'm shooting at like almost across the street, and I think that it was shot at like maybe like f4 or something, because you maybe f4.5. You don't have to be too wide open because it's a 2.8 lens. I didn't have to be wide open to get that. You want to get them in focus. Everything's gonna blur out anyways because it is that long lens. And so what I did was I do single point focus and I put it in the center. And as far as like composing it goes, I had him pick her up on my like go, and I said, I demonstrated, squatting down and grabbing her up from underneath the butt, obviously on nothing on air, and I said, put your arms into his shoulders, and you guys just look at each other. And so on go, I put my focal point, and then I reframed my camera so that I got them in the bottom right corner. Yeah, I don't know the exact settings for this, but probably like f4, f4.5, and then I just matched the light. So that's pretty cool. I think this one's shot with like a 24mm lens to just get like real close and personal with them and just kind of get everything in the background as well. As far as, composition goes, I reframed it again for this image. And then lighting's probably really similar. What's weird about my 24mm is it's broken and I can only shoot it at 1.4. So if I'm not really close to the subject, I miss the shot majority of the time for some reason. It's super annoying, but you can see how like blurry it is in the background because I'm really close to them. And then again, it's at 1.4. And so like the beginning of the day, I really just don't like to I talk to them, but I like to be as candid as possible. So I'll shoot like with a 50 or an 85mm lens here, and I'll try and like get some of that window light right here coming off onto her face. I wish she was turned a little bit more. It would make my life a little bit easier because now we have like extreme highlights and extreme shadows here, but it's not bad. Here we've got some backlighting going on, which was pretty nice. And again, I'm not using flash or anything. It's just my camera. And then I'm just focusing on shooting these. I don't think any of the settings were changed for these ones here. So once you get that light, once it looks good, just kind of keep those settings. Everything else was done in post. I probably dropped it down for this dress shot and bumped it up for this dress shot. Let's see here. I shot this with a 35mm. It's a little dark. I found a corner, put it in front of the window. Like I think it's probably a chair that I pushed in front of the window. I see the camera cut out forever ago. Let me go ahead and pause that right here. I swear this camera loses battery like so drastically fast. I think I need to buy new batteries for it or something. I might just continue this without camera at all if it doesn't turn on. Okay. That was just a photo from Disney World. Happens every time. Zoom in right here. There we go, focus. Okay, cool. And the battery's exhausted. I'm gonna cut this part, but yeah. So let's go ahead and just drop this video behind. Okay. So as you can see, I shot this with a 35mm. I put everything on a chair and just kind of pushed it close to the window to get some really nice light coming in. And the focal point here was I put the cards down to save the dates first, and then kind of built around that with the shoes and the flowers, and then everything else kind of filled in the gaps. Here I saw some really nice light kind of coming in. It was obviously very bright, and so what I did was I toned it down so that I only got, like, we weren't too worried about the shadows. We just wanted to get what the light was hitting lit up, and everything else shaded, and created like a really dynamic photo of this ring holding shot. With the girls on the bed, I just kind of like have them lean in towards each other so we can kind of get most of them in focus. Shoot a little bit of flash with that to just do some fill light. Could have done a little bit more because we do see some shade here, here, and here, or we could have filled it in a little bit more. Again, I did not shoot this. It was my second shooter, but they match pretty nicely with lighting, so that's pretty cool. Again, I kept my lighting the same for this. I'm working with 2 cameras, so if I know I'm going to be using the window shots a lot, I will just go ahead and like work on more of my window shots with one camera, and then my other camera will be the one I change all my settings on, so I don't have to go back and forth too much. I wish I had the info on this as far as the settings go for you guys off the top of my head. I'd have to go in a Lightroom or go find the original photo. Again, everything's the same. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find anything different. Okay, so as far as like posing goes, I had her bend that left knee, keep her, I was sitting on like probably over here, and she's right here, and I said, you know, go ahead and bend that left knee, look to your left, and kind of place your hand on your hip here. And then I'm noticing this is interesting, but I like to place the hand not here on the hip, or see how it's here on the hip on the right, on the left. I don't like them to match, because what happens is I can create this kind of like diamond shape in the middle, and that like separates the arm, and it looks really nice when you do like a tight shot right here. Also looks nice here. And then I just had her turn her back, or turn towards the window so we could get like a shot of her back for that one. And then I just had her like slowly put on her earrings and stuff, and her perfume here. And then I always like to have them like cross their legs for putting on their shoes, like all the brides that I'm working with. And then here I kept that similar light, close up the curtains a bit to get a little bit of shadow, and then I said, hey, hold your maid of honor's hands, somebody hold her dress, somebody kind of fix her back, and just nice, makes for a playful shot. And then a couple more photos in this chair here. Just kind of lean back, put your arm on the armrest, cross your legs, etc. And then I really love this shot where it's just super simple. Just threw the train out, and so put one hand down, put one hand on your hip, and look to your left. And what that creates is a really nice silhouette. And then we have some light coming in. And what we're doing, we're not worried about how shadowy she is, right? Because it looks really nice. What we're worried about is how bright the brightest point in the room is. So if this is lit well right here, all these pieces, then we're good to go, and the shot looks great. If you want to fill it in with some flash, you can, but honestly, I think it looked great. And so we did this first look, and it was a busy day here at the DIA. I kicked them into the corner here. I'm pretty sure there were like people over here that I was somehow avoiding sitting on the steps. And can't really compose this too much. She came up from around the corner, and I'm just shooting as I am after getting my lighting, which I got my lighting shooting the groom. So it had an opportunity for two things: get my lighting and get some more shots of him. And then, you know, the first look's happening, super cute. We're just shooting as we're shooting candids, trying to center focus everything. I think I'm probably shooting on constant so I can like not worry about where my focus is hitting and making sure it's like hitting all the spots. And so that what that means is I have to keep everything centered. I can't like recompose the shot, which is fine. Looks good. And then we just kind of did some breakdown on shooting against the wall here. And guys are having fun. Girls are having fun. You can hear my kids in the background. Okay. Hold on, guys. Dad life and also being a photographer. Welcome back. Okay. So yeah, these are just basic group shots where I have them line up in a spot and just shoot them. The lighting's really pretty much the same. I'm honestly just going off my settings isn't important. Going off of what the light looks like after you shoot it is important. So you just choose your f-stop first for like these group photos, like 4.5, 5.0, whatever, and then I crank my ISO down depending on the light, and then we work with the shutter speed. If the shutter speed has to drop below like 200, 250, then we can start bringing that ISO back up. But we're just gonna try and work off low ISO, higher shutter speed, and then if it, you know, if you have to tank that shutter speed down to that lower number, then you can go and bring your ISO up. Let's see here. Posing wise, breakdown, put your back into his chest, bring your left arm up and around, and I always reference Dirty Dancing because everyone gets that. Bouquet in the right hand. Put your head against her head and then go ahead and kiss her on the neck. And then we had her bring her hand down, kiss on the cheek, then we move spots. We said put your chest in his chest, grab his biceps, touch your noses and your forehead and give each other a smile. And then look right here, and then I'm sure he kissed her cheek after that, but we already got that, so we didn't need it twice. And then I said look over your left shoulder and down, and then I want you to look at her. And then go ahead and grab his face with both your hands and come in real slow for a soft kiss. Here, go ahead and hold each other's hands and come and like walk towards me. And then walk away from me, stop. All right, I need you to look over your right shoulder. And then I want you to look at her, kind of sniff her hair. That's always funny. And then I always teach the dip. I always teach the dip by having the guys face me, put your legs wide so we get like more power from our stance. And then I always show the bride to stand like right beside him, put her arm around his neck, crank that hand back when he dips you down. And then my dips always have the groom grabbing that front leg, which is always hard to explain. And then I always show how I like my leg by just showing them, and then give each other a kiss. And then I had him stand at the top of the steps, her come down one step, grab his lapels, grab her waist, look over your shoulder, look at her. Same thing. Take a step down, let him kiss your hand. We already went over that one. Touch your foreheads and noses together, basically, guys. So it's pretty easy. And you don't have to rapid fire those poses, but you could always just kind of break it down. Like, you don't have to break away from the pose too much, because like, okay, like for instance, like this pose and this pose are the same. I just changed angles, and then this one's just holding hand. This is kind of the same and just stopped them from what they were doing. And then like all these are quite the same, and just back to chest and then chest to chest. Just kind of play around and move around with those shots a lot. Okay, and then we got our detail shots of the space. It was a sunny day. I'm shooting my 35 on one camera and my 7200 on the other camera. The 35 I like to personally, like after shooting so many weddings, I can just change my settings when the light is different, because it's different from here to here. So like the sun's behind him here and in front of him here, and it's blasting, but I can change my settings fast enough to make that happen. But for you guys, if it's a little too difficult, what you could do is just have one camera shooting one setting and one camera shooting the other setting. So this looks like the 7200 was shooting forward, and I had it set, so that the white wasn't overly exposed. And for here, I made sure that the light wasn't overexposed yet again. And so you can see here it's a little bit darker. Could have bumped that up, and we left that with a 35. And we're just capturing the moments as they happen here. This was really nice to get that water splashing up. But again, I'm gonna just reuse the same poses over and over, just in different spots. I made sure they got to those rocks safely, and then chest to chest, hands on our hips, hands on his biceps, touch your noses, foreheads together. I threw her dress out, and then we're focusing on getting the light right. We're not worried about the sky, which it came out blue. We're not worried about like how bright their skin is. I'm worried about getting this light right. It's gonna create a really dynamic image that way. I think I just need to use natural light inside of the space. And then we just use some natural light. Now it's much softer light because the sun's away behind some clouds, and so we can just go ahead and shoot. This is at nighttime. Just hung my camera over the ledge of the top of the boat and just shot down. And that one is a tricky shot. It worked out, but we went to the captain's cabin, did some photos here, some silhouetting, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, guys. I have a flash going off in the corner and a flash on top of my camera for these to try and get some settings. As you can see, the light's jutting out here. I turned my shutter speed below 60th of a second to get these. And then the flash that's hitting them off camera is actually kind of stopping motion a little bit. Cranked up my f-stop to make everything short. Everything is sharp, so like 5.6, and then like my ISO is the variable, the changing variable here, and my flash, of course. But I honestly just leave my flash on manual, and either leave it at a 16th or an 8th, depending on how much light is needed. All right. So that ends that portion. If you want to continue watching, I'm going to jump into some boudoir photos. This is like an 18-minute length video, but it'll be worth it for these. So I don't have like a full gallery to show you guys on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the gallery and just look at some of these photos here. Okay. So to my right here is a window, and what I did, here's a window as well. This window's just like wide open. It's just got like a sheer curtain over it. To my right here, this is a sheer curtain, but then it has like curtains in front of that sheer curtain that are like blackout curtains, and I let just like a sliver of light through to kind of just hit right here and create this like dynamic image. As posing goes, I just kind of replicated like rubbing your thumb across your lip, and then there's like honey dripping down her hand because we like dipped her hand in a cup of honey. So that was pretty cool. This one, I demonstrate a lot of my poses, guys, and I think that's super important. But for this shot right here, we're just kind of like kneeling and just kind of leaning over the bed here, over onto this, what is this called? It's like a little bench. The light's on over here, creating a little bit of the warmth, but we're using mostly this window light. I only have like 2 small windows in the studio. It's 2 different studios. But I just want this light to kind of rake across, and I'm worried about we're getting these highlights and like cranking up my ISO, shooting 80th of a second shutter speed, and like f-stop 3.5, and we just get this really nice like shadowy lit thing. Shadow and light. It looks really nice. You can honestly tell like the light's getting cut a little bit off because she's not right in front of the window, but it's creating this really nice like highlight right here, and then shade anywhere beyond like a short point. Like it only reaches so far. I was like, hey, put your butt into the glass and bend that right knee and lean forward, grab the edges of the mirror. For this one, I demonstrated kind of like sitting on the couch and like arching your back, kind of putting your hand up and pulling with the underwear with the other one. I have like a lamp over here creating some of that light. So this one's interesting light wise. That lamp that's in this photo, I didn't move it. There's just a mirror right here. So she's in front of that mirror, and that lamp is cascading that light over, kind of lighting her up. This is like that first image in the studio. Here's that window that had that curtain. I have 3 windows, 1, 2, and then 3. Those 2 are fully open. This one is now kind of closed with the curtains a little bit. And we're going for the highlights right here. This pose, for one, like we sprayed her down with some like olive oil basically to get that shine. And then this pose is like bend your left knee, pop the butt, and then put your hands under between your thighs and your butt, and depress with just your middle finger. And so I like kind of demonstrated as much as I can, and just kind of it works out. It's like a neon shot. You obviously see it's mostly neons. I'm up in the corner here shooting down. I'm just gonna scroll. There's a lot of images. I'm just gonna scroll through. And so this one here, the light's coming from that window right here and dropping down. You can see it gets cut off here and drops right down. So I'm shooting from like I'm standing on the other arm and just shooting down. Sit down on the ground, bend your knee, bring your right hand up. We threw the hair out and then kind of pull down in the middle of the shirt. This one is put your elbows into the windowsill and then bring your hands up to your hair, kind of look over your shoulder, pop the butt, bend that left knee. When light's coming from here, she's looking over her shoulder. So I decided to record just a little bit more, only because I think the end of my previous video might have been a little bit too saucy to upload to YouTube. And so I'm recording this just to end it at a different note with some missing footage. Yeah, so thanks for showing up, guys. Be sure to check out everything, and I hope you enjoy your day. All right. See